Hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about what to do if you've launched a Facebook ad, a YouTube ad, an Instagram ad, a LinkedIn ad, a something else ad, and it hasn't worked. Let's talk about it. So firstly, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time with us, my name is Penberthy. I'm the founder of AdClients.com, where we help you package up your knowledge into a high-ticket course or coaching program. And I'm pleased that you are here. In today's video, we're going to talk about traffic. Now, this is a topic that's come up a lot on the channel. If you would like to learn more about how to create YouTube ads or Facebook ads or Instagram ads that actually get results and get you customers and clients, click the link up here or somewhere in the description box. We'll have a bunch of videos listed on that topic. But specifically today, I want to talk about what to do if you launch an ad and it doesn't work. Because this is quite a common story, right? And perhaps you can resonate. You know, you've got your business, you've got your sales funnel, you're excited to get it out there and you're trying to figure out how to do that. And people are always telling you, you've got to run some ads. That's the way to do it. So you hear about Facebook, YouTube, those are the two primary traffic platforms. And if you're honest with yourself, you kind of feel like you're shooting in the dark. You go on YouTube, you start watching some tutorials on how to launch a Facebook ad and a YouTube ad, and you put it out there and it hasn't got any results. Perhaps you've spent $100, $200, maybe $500 on your traffic. You've got nothing to show for it. But what feels worse is there's no one to bounce ideas off. There's no one to help you diagnose what the problem was so that you can actually, continue running those ads and make them profitable. So what ends up happening is you turn them off and in your head, you say they don't work. They don't work, I've got to find another solution. Well, listen, they do work, but there's a couple of things that maybe went wrong there in your journey of launching that ad, and I want to help you through that process a little bit in today's video. So first things first, and this is the answer that you're not looking for, but the one that you need, and then I'll give you some more specific help in just a moment. The first thing you need to understand, running paid advertising online, it's a process. It does take some time. Anyone that tells you that you can just launch an ad with their training and within 2 days you'll be, getting a ton of customers and clients profitably and you'll be able to scale, it just doesn't happen. It's a whole new skill set that you've got to learn. You've got to learn how to run the ads on the platform. You've got to learn all the ins and outs of how to get the most out of the platform. You've got to know how to put good creative together, which is the video or the image or the headlines. You've got to know how to target the right type of audience. You may have to test and tweak just a little bit. If you start advertising to one audience and it doesn't seem to work, so then you move over to another one. It is a process. So if you don't have a marketing budget right now, if you can't say, I can comfortably put $500 into paid ads and I'm not emotionally attached to that ad spend, I just want to see how it goes, learn from that process, and then hopefully do it better next time. Unless you're in that position, paid ads is probably not the right vehicle for you. As upsetting as that may be to hear, you may have pinned all of your hopes on it, but if you are in the mindset right now that you're going to put $100 into paid advertising on Facebook, for example, and if you don't get that $100 back within 2 days, your family's not eating this week, that's a terrible, terrible idea, and you should stop running ads immediately. So that's the first thing that you need to know. It is a process. It does take some time. There is an element of needing to be patient and be emotionally detached from your initial ad spend to really get the ball rolling. The good news is if you get through that process, you can scale exponentially. We'll put some screenshots up on the video here, but we've spent well over $500,000 in one of our Facebook advertising accounts. We've spent over $1 million on our YouTube ad account and a bunch of other platforms as well. And we've done that not because I had that lump sum in the bank to just put on ads. It compounded over time. We reinvested. We started with $100. We tested, made some mistakes. Let's put a bit more in. We got to $500. Oh, okay, we're finding some winners now. Let's scale those and let's ditch the ones that aren't looking too good. And one thing led to another, and we've now built a multiple 7-figure a year business off of these paid ads. So if you are willing to be patient, it can work, and it can work very, very well. The second thing you need to know is you need to go out there with proper training. Whether that is training from me and my company, fantastic. If it's not, I'm unbiased to that. I just want you to understand you've got to have proper training. So just going on YouTube and doing a search for how to launch a Facebook ad and you just follow along with a 10-minute tutorial and then fingers crossed hope it works, you're not going to get results like that. Same thing with just watching some other, tutorials on random sites, because there's no accountability there, there's no help. It's most likely an outdated video. The buttons are in different places now. You haven't understood the strategy behind it. You've just understood the practical steps to launch an ad, but it's much bigger than that. So you do need to make sure that you're being fully equipped with the right training, resources, perhaps even coaching to go out there and do it successfully. Now, assuming that you've done those first two things, or just getting those two things out the way, here's the third thing, and this is the more practical thing. If you've launched an ad on Facebook or on YouTube or otherwise, and it hasn't worked, you haven't got the result, and pretty much you're looking at the top and tail end. What? Top and tail? That is actually correct. I stopped, but that was the right thing. Damn it. You make the mistake of looking at the top and tail? No, you only look, what did I do? Hello. So with those two things out the way, or assuming that you've already done those, now let's talk about the third thing that I want to talk about, which is actually more practical for you. If you have launched a Facebook ad or a YouTube ad or otherwise, and it hasn't produced you results, what should you do about it? What's your next steps? What was the issue? How do we find out what the issue was? I'm going to boil it down for you as best as I can in today's video to help you identify where the problem might be. It really starts with us making the mistake of just looking at the very beginning and the very end of our process and looking at it holistically. So if we've got, let's say we've got our ad and the whole process all the way along here is that we just want to get a client to sign up to our thing, okay? And what we look at is we go, hold on a minute, I've spent $500 on my ads, I have recouped $0, so the ads don't work. Shut them off, this thing isn't working. That's a really bad idea. Because what you haven't intended to learn from is where in the process were things actually looking quite encouraging. And we have to learn from that, and then we have to move forward. There are 3 pillars, in case you want to write this down, 3 pillars of things that you really want to be paying attention to see if they're working or not. The first is your audience. I'm going to put A for audience, okay? The people that you are targeting with your ad. That could be keywords you're targeting, Facebook pages you're targeting, YouTube videos you're targeting, whatever it is, the audience that you're putting your ad out to. The next thing is C for the creative. That looks close to a euro sign actually now. C for creative. The image, the video, the headline, the text, whatever it is, the thing that is trying to attract this audience to move forward in this direction. And then the final thing is the landing page. Let's put L for landing page, the page that you are driving that traffic to. So this is the direction of what we've got going on here. And really, it's going to be an issue with one or multiple of these 3 things. And this is where you really need to start to compartmentalize your funnel. And if we go ahead and take a look at this and almost kind of put them in 3 different columns, we want to start to diagnose in which column is the issue and or in which column is there looking like some pretty good stuff that we can work with and then amplify that good stuff. So the first thing is the audience, okay? When we target whatever audience it is that we are trying to connect with, we want to see if they are actually indeed connecting with our piece of content or with our advertisement. We want to see if this bridge is happening and happening well. Now, how do we determine that? Well, I could talk for hours on the topic, but I'm going to try and boil it down to a practical step, which is, are your costs high or are they low to target those people with this creative? Okay, is it costing you a fair amount to get someone to view your piece of content, let alone click? That's the next step. Getting the click is the next thing. Is it even costing us enough or is it costing us too much to even get someone to view this piece of content? Whether it's in the Facebook newsfeed, if it's a YouTube ad, what is our view rate? Are people liking this piece of content? That's the first thing we have to figure out. Now, there's so many benchmark numbers and it varies from industry to industry, so I can't give you those numbers. You are going to have to investigate that a little bit yourself, but that's the main thing. And you have to determine, are the numbers looking good or are they looking bad? If they're looking good and it turns out that actually this audience is connecting with this piece of content and it is for a pretty decent price that you're targeting them, then you're good. We move on to the next step. If it's a no, if based on your research you figure out that actually it's quite expensive. It's quite expensive to target these people and they're not really interacting with this piece of content with your ad, then you've got an audience problem and you need to think about targeting a new audience, a slightly different group of people, okay? Same thing goes for the next step. So the next column is your creative. Now, what we're looking for is, are we getting the click? Are we actually getting people who are viewing this ad and viewing this content, are we actually getting them to click to come to the landing page? And if we are getting clicks, what is our cost per click? Okay, if you're getting a cheap cost per click, well, that means that this audience is liking this ad and they're coming on over. So if you've got a cheap cost per click, things are looking good. If you have an expensive cost per click, and again, what are the benchmark numbers? You're gonna have to figure out for your industry because it differs for everyone. If your industry, the average cost per click is $2, well, if your cost per click is $7, the ad is the problem. Because the people that are coming here are the right type of people, but now they're getting turned off by the ad. They're not really enjoying it. They're not clicking to the next thing. So they consumed your ad, but now they're not clicking. They didn't like it. They weren't enticed to go to the next stage. So your ad did the wrong thing here. If your average cost per click is $2 and you're getting clicks for 50 cents, well, fantastic. People are loving it, so the ad is not the problem. So again, we determine, is it good or bad? If it's bad, we work on this section. If it's good, we move forward. And then the third one is the landing page. We want to see, are we actually getting people performing the next action? For most of you, it's likely that your landing page is an opt-in page. It might be to register for a webinar, register for a lead magnet, whatever it is, they're coming over here to perform the next action. Are you getting people doing that, performing that action and coming over and hearing about the next thing that you've got? If they are, and it's for a decent price, and again, let's say the average lead cost in your industry is $5. If your lead cost is $20, well, then you may have a landing page problem because the right audience have enjoyed the ad, they've clicked through, but this page has not done its job. Or if the average lead cost in your industry is $5 and you're getting leads for $2, well, then this landing page is doing really, really well. But the chances are you wouldn't be getting a green tick in each of these three areas because otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video and needing some help, okay? And if you have got all three of these, and you are getting opt-ins but they're not buying, well then of course you have a problem in our bonus fourth category, which is the actual sales message. So your ads have done the job to get people here, but they're not actually signing up. That's a whole nother ball game, not something we have time for in this video. So hopefully that's helpful for you. That is how I go about diagnosing the ads that we're running. And if something's not looking quite right, I'm looking at these three columns and I'm starting to diagnose where the problem might be. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, and if you're interested in becoming a client of ours, we can walk you through this. We can help you. We've got very, very advanced training on YouTube and Facebook inside of our client portals, along with a bunch of one-to-one help and just a bunch of awesome stuff. If you are looking for the quickest path to get results in your business and you want to work with a team that have done it, you can inquire about that. There's a link in the description box in the top comment to hear about coaching we've got. And if it sounds like a good fit, let's have a chat and see if it would be beneficial to work together. Outside of that, listen, if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, drop us a comment, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification because we put out a couple new videos every single week that I think you'll really, really enjoy. So with that, have a great rest of your day and I'll see you in a future video.